What is up, everybody? It is Zach here, and thanks for tuning in. If you're, I suppose no one's really quite tuned in yet, but I'm sure people will. I'm getting everything set up. So, yeah. Getting everything ready to go. Oh, there's 3 people. It always takes a minute for people to show up. What's going on, Michael? I'm doing well. How's it going for you? I'm getting you guys plugged in because, you know, if there's one thing that kills batteries, it is going live. So this is kind of a, there we go, kind of a spur of the moment live feed that I decided to do here, but we are out in the garage, and I'm going to be cleaning some of these parts, which is very laborious. So I thought, well, I could watch YouTube or I could make YouTube, so I decided I'll make YouTube. But this here is my little bucket, if you will. It's just a windshield washer fluid bucket, and it has the parts in it that I took out earlier, if you guys seen that video, the bearings and stuff for the trailer. So I just wanted to get the old nasty grease off of there, although the grease didn't seem that bad, so that's at least good. Holy Lord. So we'll get them all set out here. But yeah, I had some great comments on there. I just think that the grease is pretty old. Here's those ball bearings. It's actually in really nice condition, the bearings and stuff like that. A little bit different style than what I'm used to. When I repack these, it'll be just a little different. It has a big bearing and a small bearing, which it was not like that on the other trailer that I did. And then I got the cap going here because I thought this cap is just gross, and I wanted to get the grease off because it had developed grease around the edge, and so that kind of messed up the that's what I have, and that kind of messed up the deal. I got the castle nut, I believe is what that goes by, but I need to get the grease off of here. Honestly, looks like at some point this trailer was red. I don't know. What's going on, Neil? What's going on, Bill? So yeah, today got to not really work on this very much. Kind of did my running around. You know, I was going to get my new tires from Royal Tire, and I decided against it because everybody at work talks about discount, and they're like, yeah, they got the best prices, they're really good people, and they are really nice people, I'll give them that. But you know, when I went to Royal Tire before, they were able to put new studs into my at that time it was a car, so they could restud my car. This whole discount tire not being able to do that really is unfortunate. And then today when I brought them that wheel, they were closing because it was so hot. I picked Sam up at 3 o'clock to bring her to the, we went down and seen my mom today, and we have to drive past Royal Tire, and I drove past them at 3 o'clock, and they were open. So I'm like, dang, I really got screwed all the way around because, did you pay the parking float? Did I pay the parking float? I don't really know what that means. But anyways, you have to explain. So yeah, just the whole situation. I think that, I don't think that Discount Tire has bad policies or anything like that. I know that it's just their company, and that's what they are going, is just doing their thing. But I won't go to Discount Tire again unless I have to. I just didn't, it kind of turned me off. I'm going to make sure next time I go to a shop that if I ever have an issue or need more tires for something like this, and I have a similar situation, I'm going to make sure that I go to a shop that's actually going to be able to replace or, you know, fix something on the fly. So yeah, but they gave me nice tires. That's for sure. I mean, they got nice tires, and like I said, the people there were super nice. It really bothers me when I have to go out of my way, and I had to go out of my way not once but twice with these people. So I'll be done with them, and you know, I'll explain it all. How's it going, Chris? Yeah. So I went and had the whole tire debacle. And then I went over to O'Reilly's because I needed new studs. And you know, any auto parts place carries studs. But let me tell you something. The dude at O'Reilly's, man, the guy before me, he was sitting there hee-hawing around like, oh yeah, you're going to have to go to the next place. And then I got up there, and I could tell he wasn't having a good day or whatever, but I get up there, and I asked him about studs, and the dude would not get me studs. He says, yeah, we have studs in the back, but he's like, I don't, you know, I gave him just a chunk that had a little more than this, a little bit of threading on there, and he's like, well, without the threads, I have no way of knowing what kind of stud it is. I said, I don't care if it's a fine or a coarse thread or what the hell kind of thread it is. I said, I need the whole stud with the nut, and I need it to be, you know, 2.5 inches long. And the dude would not get up and walk back to get me some studs, and that pissed me off. He was just having a lazy day or something. I don't know. I don't know what his deal was, but yeah, it was just so yeah, I just dealt with a bunch of dummies. I think he was a dummy, but I just had a bunch of whatever. Just a bunch of unfortunate events that are compiling, and it's getting to me. The good thing about these bearings is, I mean, they're in great shape. But one thing I noticed, I don't know where it said it. It said it, I think, on the hub part here. But this is actually, these bearings are made in America. These hubs are made in America. So I don't know if that is something that's like, you know, people said get a new axle seal, but the seal on here is actually nice and felt still. See the felt seal, it's really nice still. So I don't know if that's hard to come by nowadays or not, but these hubs are American made, so I'm going to try to, it seems like anything that's stamped made in America just is better. Especially old school stuff. Ooh, you know what I'm going to do at the end of this, guys? I'm going to get that chainsaw ripping for you guys. I started it 2 or 3 days ago just to give her a rip to see, and it's running great. Like, for that particular time, I pulled it just a couple times, and she fired right off. Look at this. This trailer at some point was painted like Farm All Red. You can see it on there because there's the rusty brown and a Farm All Red. So if you guys are just tuning in, I took this hub off today for the trailer because yesterday I noticed that when the cap fell off when I was pounding out those studs, and there's some moisture in the grease just on the cap, so I took it upon myself to clean this puppy up. Now a lot of people said, oh, replace the seal. Well, I'm gonna just leave it the way it is for right now. It'll be fine. Paul asks, why don't you have your dad haul up the canoe on his trailer? That's a good idea. Except for the fact that my dad lives an hour away from me. So enable for me to haul the canoe to my dad, I still need the trailer. Farmall asks, did your mom ever go to the tent? Yeah, she's been to the tent. but she hasn't been there in a very long time. She didn't much care for the whole tent experience, so she stopped going relatively quickly. Not quickly, I mean, she went up there, but it definitely was a stretch for her. So she's been up there before, but it's been a very long time. I don't think she'd ever want to go back up there. It's not, like I said, it was never her thing. Oh man, there's some gunky stuff in here. Yeah. But yeah, these hubs are made in America. That's pretty good. Farmall Red. You know you can replace the hub for a common rim. Yeah, but the hubs aren't bad, and hubs cost like 40 bucks a piece. So for that price, I could just buy another tire damn near. That's why. It's an inconvenience in a way, but now that I know the bolt pattern, I don't have to worry about it that much because I will get a spare. And now it'll have brand new tires on it, so it'll be good for a really long time. Curtis said, "Hey Zach, what's up? How's it going? How goes axle work? Just got online. It's going, man. I'm redoing the packing, the grease in this bad boy, because she was kind of nasty. So yeah, that's going. But it's a really weird looking hub on this thing. So Daddy Joe took the 3 babies up to the tent. That's good family. Yeah, we all got up there. And now newer hubs nowadays, I don't think bolt up quite the same as this old hub. Pike said, "Yeah, but where are you gonna find a rim pattern if you get a blowout?" Let me show you here. So this is the hub. And well, not the hub. This is the spline, and kind of bolts up differently. It's a little bit different than new style kinds. So yeah, and that's why I'm going to keep my eye open. Someone just actually gave me a good idea to look around at some of the local used parts areas, like pull your part places, and that's a good idea. I think I'm gonna do that because I wasn't thinking about that. Spindle, yeah. So yeah, and do I think I'll get a blowout? I don't know. I got brand new tires on here, and they're 15-inch tires. They're not little 12-inch tires, and they're pretty beefy tires. So Ryan asked, "Where's the wife? She should be helping and learning." She is. I don't know if she's asleep yet, but she just went to bed because she has to work in the morning. So that's a lot of the times when I have Sunday night chats out here. That's because she goes to bed, and it's not like I have to be out here. I don't want to give the wrong impression. But she goes to bed, and so yeah. She goes to bed, so then I come out here and hang out, because I normally spent the night inside, so I like to get out and hang out. Okay, I'm seeing something in here, guys. You might not believe this. Alright, flip you guys around. Now it's upside down, but I want you to take a peek. A little wheel, and that says GM. Like if I don't know if I can get you guys to flip around. Yeah, it doesn't want me to do that. So it's upside down, but can you guys see in there? It says GM. So, I don't know when on earth GM made hubs. That's legitimate, says GM. Isn't that weird? I don't think I've ever seen a GM hub. Not nowadays. You can't go to Harbor Freight or Northern Tool and get a GM hub. Pike says, yeah, but that doesn't mean nothing. You could go a couple 100 miles away with no spare. That's an old school axle 25 to 30 years ago. Yes, it's old. Man, I don't know why you're peppering me with all those questions. I don't know what you're trying to get at. This trailer is only a 4x8, and I can't put a ton of weight on there. And yeah, I might have a blowout, but I've pretty much done everything I can, and I'm gonna get the a spare for it eventually, and it'll be fine. I don't know. Who's to say that on a Sunday when I get a blowout in the middle of nowhere that there's going to be any place nearby for me even to get a tire anyways? Whether it's a hardware store or a tire shop, it might just have to sit on the side of the road for a day. So it'll be fine. Most of the time this trailer only hauls the canoe anyways, and so if I did get a flat tire or whatever, it's not the end of the world. I also have a canoe carrier that'll fit into the receiver of the truck that I made, so I could always go and get that. Curtis asked, am I going to put bearing buddies on it? I would like to. That's for sure. I seen them today when I was at the store. Yeah, when I was at the auto parts place, but I forgot to bring in the dust cap so I could match the size, and nor did I measure it. So I would like to eventually get some put on there, but for right now I'm just repacking them, and they should be pretty good. It says new departure, has a part number. Jeez, part number on here 209606, made in the USA by GM. Yeah, that's my plan. I'm just gonna work on getting a rim with a spare tire. Get a rim with maybe not a new tire, but a nice tire. And I didn't think about calling around to like shops and stuff like that, like U-pull type shops. So I'll have to give them a call. This little like flex plate here is kind of weird. Maybe it comes off. Sure, it's just pressed on there. But yeah, you know, you can get new hubs and stuff like that, and they'll work fine. But like I said, this older stuff, it just is built better, and I'd rather take an old. I'd rather take an old piece of equipment that works great because they're easier to work on, and you know, they're just better. This new stuff, I don't know, some people might not realize it, but China steel is garbage, and that's where we get a lot of our steel from. And so I'd rather take some of this old school stuff over some new stuff. Salvage yard, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, when I went in and got these tires put on, or got the one tire put on, I guess, when I ordered them, I had to measure it. And I thought it was 5-on-5 from the measuring that I've been doing, but I've been doing it with the tape measure, so I thought, you know, it could be just a little off. So, so then he measured it and told me it was 5-on-5, and then he went and said that it was 5-on-5 is like a Jeep, older Jeep, and like an older two-wheel drive Chevy from year 2000 and before. So, yeah. Did you say your dad is at the tent right now? I think that my dad's in Cloquet right now, but I'm not sure. I haven't talked to him in a couple days, but I think he's in Cloquet. I don't know. He's busy and then he gets away. So I don't know. He does his own thing, I guess. I don't try to bother him that much because when he's relaxing with Melissa, he deserves to relax, and I don't need to be bothering him every few minutes about something. Curtis, the duck season opener is next weekend. So that's the weekend of the 23rd, I believe. That's the right date. I know it's next weekend, so yeah, it has to be the 23rd. And then it will take a couple of days. The rice will be thinner this year up there. You think so? I have no idea. I haven't been up there to know. I got some old paint. This is probably lead paint. No, just kidding. I don't know. I'm hoping the rice is thinner. Yep, that's actually. I'm going duck hunting this year, and that's kind of the motivation right now for getting this trailer up to par, is because I want to bring the canoe up on the trailer, obviously. Last year I had the pop-up. This year I'm just going to tent it. I'm bringing up my little tent, and it's going to be a fun time. I'm trying to do it very, ever since I started going up there, you know, duck hunting is a very expensive sport, I guess you could say, to get into. It is not cheap, so you got to try to cheapen it out where you can. So I normally just bring food from home and stuff like that. But the license is like $50. It's expensive to do. It's actually like probably cheaper to actually buy your ducks in the store. But the fun of it is being with family, so that's what you go for, is the family time. And all the rest is just an add-on. But yeah, so now we get to pack these bearings. They're pretty dry. I'm smelling them. They smell a little gassy, but they don't feel wet by any means. The other grease was in there, was packed in there so tight that these bearings weren't really spinning that much, not like freewheeling. So this cap is nice. I love that red. You know, my dad had a couple Farmall tractors, and it would not surprise me if that is what that is from. That when he would restore the Farmall tractors. So maybe when he was restoring those, he painted this trailer too. He had like a Farmall red trailer, and then you know, his actual tractors. And this is like that dust cap that goes in the back. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my torch and I'm going to burn all the grease and junk off of here. Because it's on there thick. Like it's caked on pretty good. So I'm going to do that, but I got to kind of rearrange you guys, and because you guys are on the a gasoline bottle, and I got this tray over here full of gas too. The hub is good. The hub can be a little dirty. I don't mind if the hub's dirty, but I definitely need to get I want to get the stuff off of this so I know how much grease is leaking from the future. The trailer. Alright. So the trailer is I got it from my dad. And sorry. I'll set you guys up on a different thing here. So the trailer is from my dad. He had it, but he doesn't remember where he got it from. So when he had it, he had made it into like a heavy duty 5x8, and where I put these fenders, they're like wheel well tubs. There's really a different design, but it's windy. I have a fan going in here. So when I got it, you know, the distance between the axle as far as where you can put wood and stuff is that 4 feet. So I changed it back to a 4x8 because I think that's where the original size was. I don't know if we're going to be doing a live feed from the tent. I'm not sure. Haven't really discussed it. Last year was fun, so maybe this year we'll do it again, but no guarantees. This is like the best torch ever. I have a normal size torch, and then I have this one, and this one is awesome. That's all grease burning. And I'm going to change this piece of wood out because green treated wood is not good to burn on. I just remembered. Alright. Now I won't die of some noxious fumes. I don't know how old the trailer is. My dad doesn't really know the history of it or anything like that, so obviously I don't know. What I can tell you is my dad had this trailer, and he look at all the that's built up on here. I'm gonna open up the door. What I can tell you is my dad had this trailer, and he was bringing a lawnmower to a piece of property, and it had slipped off of the ball, and when it did that, it went into the ditch, took a nosedive, and launched the lawnmower into the air. And so this trailer has a kink or a crook to it. It's been crashed, so she's not that straight of a trailer anymore. Burning off all the grease. Just flaking off. That's crazy. Look at this. Look at all that grease. Ooh. Let it burn. Let it burn. Yeehaw. Boom. It's burned off like 50 years of grease. No, not 50 years of grease, but a lot of grease. So now she's less glazy. That crap is garbage. Yeah. Hey, but you know what? I am down 3 pounds from the start of this week. And I'll be honest, I have not had the best week of eating. But I'm down 3 pounds and I'm proud of that. So, Curtis says, please do a live feed for deer hunting with Sam and your sisters. It was fun to watch. I watched it still over and over because it was fun. Put the Pepsi out on the fire. Curtis asked how is Sam doing? Sam's doing really well. 1 second though. Sam is doing really well. She's in good health, and she's been a champ. She's been doing really good. And you guys are wondering how my grandpa did with that bear hunt, huh? Ooh. That's it. Why don't you guys right now take a comment and tell me, what do you think? Did he get one? Did he not get one? What do you think? I'll give it a minute before I say anything. Probably hot. Nothing. He got one. Oh, I don't know. It's only 50-50. 2 people. There's 54 people watching. Hopsky said, I hope he got one. Better have got one. Got a little one. He got one. What do you guys think? I'm going to give it a little bit more time. All right. Oh, so he went up there. He went up there. He was up there for a few days. He didn't see one. So he came back home for a day and then drove back up there. And then he got one. It's nothing huge or anything like that, right? It wasn't a monster. It was just a smaller-ish sized one. From what I've heard, I've seen one picture, but from what I've heard, it's a little bit smaller. But you know what? He's happy as a clam, so that's good. If he's happy, that's good. You know, he's done a lot of hunting in his life, and I guess a bear is something that he's never gotten to do, so I'm really happy that he got one. So yeah. Exactly. Must be fully packed trailer, wheel hubs, we use all types of bolt membranes. So, yeah. This is the grease that I got. I went ahead and got marine grease because it's honestly pretty much all the same, but if I can get it to be more water resistant, or more for water, that's good, because when I have the canoe on here, I like to flip it over, pack it up, and then back it in to the water source, and it does go about to the hubs. So I don't like to do it that far, but I can't always see. So we're going to pack these, and we'll get to that. Any size is a trophy in his mind. That's exactly it. I'm going to be full of grease here, guys. So it's going to be... did I find out what was knocking in the truck? I haven't yet. It has subsided, if you will. I have been taking note of when the truck seems to be acting its goofiest or its worst. And it happens when it happens more when it's hot and humid, like it's been. It just doesn't run quite as perfect as I would like. So that is kind of the state of where that is. I want to bring it in, but it's not throwing any codes. So half of me is sitting there going, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And the other half is like, be preventative. But I gave it its oil change, and instead of that crappy other filter I had, I have a better true AC Delco filter in there. So that's where I'm running, and it seems to be doing better, which is good. So I'll take what I can get. I will bring it in eventually, but it's hard because these places don't want to deal with that. It's sad, but it's true. This stuff's gonna be a pain in the butt to get off my hands. Should have worn gloves. I don't think I have any out here though. Anyways, they don't want to mess around with some goofy noise, and I don't want them to just start throwing parts at it either. And with it being so many things, it could be a valve, it could be a lower end knock, it could be the manifold. I mean, it could be the flywheel, it could be anything. So that's the problem, is I don't want them to sit there and have to diagnose it for 5 hours and then pay for them to say, yeah, everything looks fine, it's just a noise. The truck is a 2013, and it just went over 103 or 104,000 miles. I've put on over 20,000 miles since I bought it. So I've put on a lot of mileage, over 20,000 miles in the first year, which is pretty good if you ask me. Okay, that one goes in there. So I'm going to start on the shoot. Okay, I gotta concentrate for just a minute here. I wish that it didn't have any issues with the truck. But it, what's going on, Evan? I wish that he didn't have any, or that I didn't have any issues with that truck, but, it is what it is. And, I am getting more and more interested with the Fords. I was kind of turned away from them before, but after looking at that GMC every day for the last year, and then looking at the nice body style, it just is really appealing to me. And I tell you why, some of the things that appeal to me with the truck is it doesn't. I hear those EcoBoost motors are really kick-ass. The GM 5.3 power plant, when I got it, was like I was not turned on by the EcoBoost motors yet. They weren't new, but I feel like they weren't tested. You know, I mean, I watched their kind of promotional thing with Mike Rowe, where he goes and they haul logs with it and they put it in one of those trucks that goes through the desert and stuff like that. You know, I watched that and it just didn't do it for me, because I'm like, my car had a 2-liter motor, and you're asking for 1 more liter, you know, or 1.5 liters, 3.5, but it's putting out crazy amounts of power. So I wanted to just do a GM, because a GM or Chevy, right? I wanted real power. Well, now that I've had that, the thing I cannot stand about my truck is it has that 4-cylinder deactivation mode. And a lot of people say that they can feel it, and a lot of people say that they can't feel it. I can feel that thing. I can feel it kick on, off as I'm driving. It's annoying. It's really annoying. So, with that being said, I'm looking to get a vehicle that doesn't have that. Now, the Toyota Tundras are nice, but they are freaking ugly. And I actually kind of think my truck's ugly too. I love the grill of my truck, but from the side, I don't really like how my truck looks. I'd rather have a Ford because they're more boxy, and I'm more into that boxy type look. The bubbly fenders on mine, it's fine. I was into it when I bought it. I can deal with it just fine for a long time, but ooh yeah. But it just doesn't appeal to me as much as it did before. And now that I've had GM, you know, I think I prefer Fords over GM, which is just awful. It's awful. I mean, and then as soon, I'm like, you guys know me, I like to have my warranties, I like to be set up and sitting good. And I do have a warranty on that truck. I'm not worried about anything on it necessarily, but every time I hop in it and I go to drive it, the first thing that I think of is, God, I hope it doesn't die today, because of that one day where it died and completely kind of left me stranded. Which is, you know, something you just don't want in a vehicle. So after that happened, I was like, oh, geez, you know, here we go. And I knew it right away. I'm like, yep, I'm going to be starting to think about different vehicles now, because of just, it's how I am. I like my stuff to be reliable, and I try to maintain it or whatever, but all vehicles have issues, but your dad seems to be a Ford guy. Yep, my dad is definitely a Ford guy. He says he doesn't like the way Chevys ride because he says they are too smooth. He likes the rough ride of a Ford. People say Dodges are rough. Dodges don't do it for me either. I mean, I gotta say though, the best looking trucks for me personally, Fords, they look the best. You know, they really do. You know, I'd be interested. They got the 2.7 liter turbo, what do they call them? EcoBoost motors. And I heard they can only tow up to 7,000 pounds, so that kind of was weird. I haven't done any research backing it, I just heard it. So we'll see. I got to do a little bit of research into it. But I would really like to get a 3.5 twin turbo. But if I'm gonna get another vehicle, truck-wise, I want it to be like brand new. I like that feeling of knowing like this thing has to start for at least 3 years, you know, and then after that, there's the drivetrain is factory, you know. So we'll see. I might get a new one. If I get another truck, I want to do brand new. Otherwise, I am looking into SUVs. I don't haul you know, crazy heavy amounts of anything, so I could do an SUV and be fine. Go diesel. I don't haul enough to justify going diesel. Shoot. Oh. Yeah, I don't haul enough to justify a diesel. They're expensive on maintenance. I have to get this keeper in here. Sorry, guys. Put some grease on this little felt ring that's in here. Should be good to go. Should be good. I am going to take this puppy to work a few times this week. When I get that tire put on, hopefully Monday, I'm going to drag it to work a few times, and then I'll check the heat coming off of these bearings and make sure that they seem within reason. They are normally maybe a slight bit warm, if not completely cool. So oh yeah, Ryan, my neighbors must absolutely love the noise. Last night I was out here. I got home late because I went yesterday I worked, obviously. Got home at 1:30, or went to the gym. So I got home at 2:15, and then I came out here to the garage from 2:30 to 4 o'clock, and I pounded out 5 of these studs at between 2:30 and 4 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, if you guys can imagine, my neighbors must love me. I feel bad for them. So the good part about it is the neighbors over here like to sell drugs. So they don't want the cops out here. And the neighbors over there don't ever say anything because I'm really nice to them. So that's the key. Some of my friends live in parts of towns that are a little nicer than mine, but they can't even snow blow their driveway when they get home from work because their neighbors will call. I can do whatever I want, my neighbors never call. There we go. So I'm going to call that greased enough. Put our little keeper on the back. This goes over all of that. And this will go in here. I'll grab you guys in a minute. Oh, I should have put that cap on. Son of a beaver. Why weren't you guys there for me? Oh, of course, that cap is on there good now. There we go. Alrighty. Try this again. You know, I'm missing all sorts of stuff here. I'm missing all sorts of stuff. I got parts laid out too far away. Alright. I gotta remember how all these go. If I make a mistake, it'll end my trailering career. Okay. This small ring had to go in the front. Yeah. But this is not a good sign. This definitely is wrong. It doesn't go in the front. I thought I had a bigger one of these too. Cops helped you finish. Yeah, see, cops are pretty cool. They're gonna go, well, you're making some noise, but you're not really a bad person, so maybe we'll just let you be. I think that's how it goes. That looks right. If it looks right, it might be right. I think that'll work. I think it'll work. Got a little ring on here. Oh yeah, that's how that went. Let's hope. Then we put this little dust cap on here. Has a little hole for the grease to pour out of as you're pushing her down the highway. Of course, not everything was really sticky before, and now it's not. Yeah. So, the cool thing about all this is this washer has a key slot on it, and the key slot corresponds to the spline, or the spindle, whatever you want to call it. There we go. Ah, perfect. So let me move you guys here. I just got to clean the grease off my hands. Oh yeah. Unplugged. Okay, so you can see right here, the key is like right here. And then we put the castle nut on there. And the key to this is you want it tight, but not like crazy tight. And most of the time you can just thread these on by hand. This one is a little goofy because it, there you go, has that key cut into it. My other ones that I've done before never had a key. And okay, and then you take, there's a cotter pin that I had that probably fell off. And I know it did, so now it's going to be full of garbage. No, I won't worry about that. I'll get new cotter pins tomorrow. And then, let me sit you guys up here. Okay. And then your studs go in on the back side. There's the right and wrong way to this. Studs go on the back. You'll hold this shield in. We gotta listen to her. She sounds a little okay, I don't know. Hard to say, I'll have to get the wheel on there, I suppose. But those bearings are turning now, and before, I swear to you, they were not turning. It was nothing but just grease on grease. They seem okay. I think that'll do. I'll obviously give her the check. Hopefully Monday I can buzz this thing back together, because that is when I will, that's when I'll know if it's good or not. Oh, I gotta get that cotter key pin back in there. Here it is, the old one. You put this on the outside of this castle nut. There's a hole. Where is it hiding? Alright, so I gotta straighten this back out. There. Someone's bumping. There, it's coming through. Now, you just have to bend the bottom of it to hold it in place. That's not going nowhere. There we go. And now the bad boy ain't going nowhere. Just need the dust cap. Back on there. That does not feel very tight to me. I think I got something wrong here. I think I got confused. Let's see. You can have that reprogrammed to stay a V8. Yes, you can. The issue with that, though, is you have to change out your lifters. You can run it, but those lifters are not right for it. Yep. I found what I'm missing, guys. That's okay. That's okay. We'll get this pulled back off and refilled around with. I knew it. Live and learn, right? I don't think I'm going to get another reuse out of this cotter key. It's trash. Okay. Off with the castle nut. Come on. It's nice and greasy now, of course. Alright. Slide it up. Okay, so where did we go wrong here, folks? Right there. That's all it was. Slap it back together. That's all back there. Yeah, now it's not all wiggly. There it is. figuring it out the first time is hard. After that, anytime you do it, you'll be good to go. So, that is about it. I think me and a group of my friends from work, we hang out and do stuff outside of work together. They know that I got this gym membership, and one of them is interested in seeing the actual gym, so we are going to go do that. So I appreciate everybody tuning in and watching. Come Monday, I will have the update video for the tires. They're beautiful tires though. I can show you guys the one good one that I have. The other one is in the shop. I dropped it off today. This is the, if you haven't seen it, beautiful tread. Nice. So, best part about it is both of the old ones had white showing on the outside of the tire, and they did not match. One had a white ring and the other one had the white wording. So that's the best part of this one, is these ones are just black, and they're Entrada Provider Eco Touring. So they're good. You know, they have lots of life in them, and they'll bounce around on the rocks real good. So I'll give you guys an update come Monday of how everything went, because I got to call them early Monday morning and get that thing slapped back together, get the new lugs buzzing on there, and we will be ready to rip. So thanks for chatting with me tonight and keeping me company, and I will talk to you guys later.